I would love to be a fly on the wall when it comes to the Montreal Canadiens management because I really do think that they have the assets to acquire the player that they want. Because I look at their prospect pool and I'm like, man, they could really entice some teams. Like, you don't think if you throw some names that the Montreal Canadiens have on the table, their draft picks that they've attained, like their rebuild has gone literally picture perfect. Like you could not have, like, again, I've said this before, but what I'll say it again, when you have the depiction of a 5-year rebuild, this is exactly what the Canadians have done here. Now, you can still, things could still go awry. You don't know what's going to happen in 2 and 3 years in the future. They still have some holes, but honestly, we pretty much have had what I said confirmed by an insider. We're going to be talking about Laine, Hutson as well, and some interesting comments from Patrick Laine. But guys, welcome back to Pixel Plus Hockey. If you could make sure to hit that subscribe button, it would be so greatly appreciated. And thank you so much to those that are already supporting me as well. It is obviously very, very humbling. Listen, like I said, I stir the pot with the Canadiens quite a bit. I personally think that I would give up David Reinbacher for him. I like Reinbacher. He's just had some injury issues. I like him. I understand he plays a premium. He's a right shot defenseman. I get it. 100%. But at the end of the day, I just really, really, really like Mason McTavish, and I think he solves so many problems for the Canadiens. I suppose you could argue that trading Reinbacher opens up another issue. I understand the points, but it's just, God, there's just something about this player. It's kind of like Marco Rossi. I always pictured him in a Canucks jersey, and I kind of picture McTavish in a Canadiens jersey. But we have a really interesting quote here from David Pagnotta regarding Mason McTavish. Based on the young asset pool perspective, yeah, the Canadiens have a ton of that. I'm sure there's enough there that would entice the Ducks to at least take a look. Campbell versus Gallo, close quote. Yes, exactly. So this is pretty much confirmed now that the Montreal Canadiens have more than enough assets to get Mason McTavish. So why don't you just go ahead and do it? There is some interesting debate. I saw some interesting debate. I can't remember what podcast I was listening to, but they were talking about the Canadiens and they were debating like whether Mason McTavish is even a second line center. And I was like, guys, come on. Mason McTavish is a second line center. He is I think he is a very good second line center. God, can you see a line of Bolduc, McTavish, and Demidov? Something like that would be a beautiful line. Demidov playing with two players that play in the guts of the game, and then Ivan Demidov can go off with his skill. I'm saying right now McTavish would score 70 points. Demidov in his first season would probably score 65. And Bolduc, he's a gritty player, man. He plays in the guts of the game. You guys are really, really going to like this player. And again, here we have a really, really interesting quote from David Pagnotta again regarding Mason McTavish. The Ducks would like to keep him, but I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility that if the right offer presented itself, that Verbeek would shy away from moving him. That's right. When you're talking about a centerman, I've always said with Mason McTavish, if he gets pried out of the Ducks, you're going to have to overpay for him. It's going to be painful. It's going to suck. But at the end of the day, man, look at how many draft picks the Montreal Canadiens have too. Like they've done pretty well with their draft picks, their draft capital. I understand that the Canadiens might want to save that draft capital for when they're competing for a Stanley Cup. Because if you save that draft capital, you can spend it when you really have like a true cup contending team. You have Ivan Demidov, used to the National Hockey, let's say scoring 90 points or something like that. I understand that, but I think it's okay to use some of that draft capital and prospect capital right now. Now, I will tell you one thing that I would not do is I would absolutely not trade Montreal's first round selection. I mean their own first round selection. I will say one thing. I think the Montreal Canadiens will make the playoffs next year for sure. I think about 80% chance they're making the playoffs next year. Like I think that getting a number one defenseman, getting Bolduc, they're more experienced. They have a starting goalie. Their guys are motoring. I think they're pretty good, but again, they might make the playoffs, and that's the Gavin McKenna draft, and they have one first-round selection, and they have 2 first-round picks next year. Those 2 first-round picks would be up for grabs. I would consider trading their 2027 first-round picks. but or pick, sorry, but I would hold on to that 2026 first round pick until, I mean, at the very least, if you're going to do it, I would top 10 protect it, right? If you can top 10 protect that pick, I would actually consider that. Now, shifting gears away from McTavish again here, another really interesting quote from David Pagno today on NHL Rumor Report regarding Laine Hutson. There's a good understanding of what the range is financially and term-wise. It's just a matter of sitting down and negotiating. Really, really good stuff. Close quote. Really, really good stuff here. That means that they already have an understanding of where Laine Hutson is going to be. And this ties to the rumors that we already heard that he's willing to, I mean, it seems that like he's going to get where Noah Dobson is or less. And there was even the number of 8.5 shown up. I do wonder if it's between the two, between 8.5, between 9.5. Maybe they settle around 9 million. Again, I'm really, really personally hoping that he just signs really long term. Some people disagree with that. I think that like there's more than enough evidence that I mean he went for how much he scored in his first season. He's in some pretty elite company. I'm more than comfortable with giving him a long term contract. I don't like giving long term contracts to goalies, of course, but I see Laine Hutson and I see him being a number one offensive defenseman. I have no problem with that at all. And also, guys, just to finish off the video, I don't know if you guys saw, but Patrick Laine and his comments, he was talking about how the Montreal Canadiens were squirrely at the end of like, oh, they might miss or they might make the playoffs. They ended up making the playoffs, of course, but he actually had some really interesting comments where he was like, you know, we're going to be a lot more comfortably making the playoffs this year. And listen, a lot of people might not like that, but hey, listen, it's interesting, man. I like Patrick Laine. He's got a chip on his shoulder. He's willing to talk. This goes back to the draft when he was drafted second overall. This guy was talking about, hey, I should have gone first overall. I mean, I don't think that was true personally, but I personally think that stuff is hilarious. So I just wanted to talk about those comments for Patrick Laine as well. I'm going to leave this video here, guys. If you could make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, I would greatly appreciate it, guys. And make sure to have a great day. Goodbye, guys.